we want to welcome to the Bastard Den the Fault Line Empires. We have Jordan and Clay with us. What's up, gentlemen? How you doing?
How's it going? Thanks for having us.
Pretty good, man. How's it going?
Thank you for coming into the Bastard Den today. Jordan, what do you do in the band?
I'm the vocalist, the mouth, the words, and the positive vibe coordinator.
Positive vibe coordinator.
like
Nice.
that, yeah.
Clay, you play drums, right?
Correct, yeah,
Yeah?
that's it.
Nice. So, I guess, Jordan, you've been with the band the longest of the two of you here. Tell us a little bit about Fault Line Empires, how you guys got started, where you were, and where you are now.
Yeah, I've it's let's hear, as of this end of May, June, it'll be 3 years. And Brad, the original bass player / current guitar player, it was kind of his monster and my monster, and we've known each other for years. Actually, all of us known each other. I don't know. We probably all met about 10 years ago. We all lived in the central Wisconsin area. Brad and our original drummer were in a band at the time. They used to come up at a venue that I owned and operated at the time, and we always kind of tossed it around about starting a crazy, stupid super group. We always thought it'd be like a ska project mixed with hardcore, but we always kind of wanted to work together. And long story short, we kind of moved away, and he was living in Milwaukee, and I was living in Madison here at the time. And he'd called me up one day, and he said he had quit his band at the time, and asked if I wanted to do something. I'm like, well, hell yeah, man, let's do it. And kind of brainstormed, and we found a drummer, and then I was on to a guitar player. Who do we know was playing guitar? We knew a couple friends of ours in Milwaukee also that we didn't know what they were doing, but we knew they played guitar, so called those guys up. Ryan was one of the original guys we called up, and then Wade, who was Clay's brother, he was the other guy we called up. And within the span of about 2 weeks, we have a five-some going, and we were jamming in a basement in Oconomowoc, and started writing songs from there. And
so it was a real work of effort. I mean, just to get everything together, get everybody. It sounds like you guys really went on a search to put all the pieces of the puzzle together.
Absolutely. I mean, we're musicians, so you just, I don't know if it's by chance or what have you, but you just kind of congregate to each other. So a lot of our friends are musicians anyway. So we knew a lot of people who play music and were either in bands or were, used to be in bands. We just didn't know what they were doing at the time. So it was kind of a matter of just calling up a random few people and say, hey, are you involved in anything? And well, no, and then they say no and say, okay, well, let's do this. And, it kind of just coagulated and came to be Fault Line Empires.
Right, so where does Clay fit into all that?
Clay, well, after, about close to 2 years, we parted ways with our original drummer, and Clay is Wade's younger brother, and we've obviously been friends with Clay for a long time anyways. Once we knew we were parting ways with the original drummer, the first guy basically that came to mind, A, because he's a friend of ours, B, because he kills on the skins, was Clay, and just kind of a matter of, hey, dude, you done with what we're doing? And he, came in and knew most of the songs already, and just kind of fell in line with the writing process, and here we are now.
Awesome. And Clay, how is it for you being the new guy? What's that like coming into a group of guys who already have a chemistry and trying to fit into that?
I don't know. I mean, it was pretty seamless for the most part. When I joined the band, it was a year ago, February, so a little over a year. I went around to shows with these guys. I went to Minnesota when they played up there. Was just filming and just kind of hanging out anyway. And having my brother and good friends in the band, I listened to it a lot, and I knew most of the songs. So when they asked me to come jam with them, like Jordan said, I already knew probably about five songs going in there roughly, and I mean it went pretty easy. The main thing they gave me shit for was that I wasn't 21 at the time. I was actually I was actually a month away from turning 21.
That,
yeah, I know, man. But yeah,
you look old.
Oh yeah, right. But
50, I mean.
That was that was it. I mean, we played one show, I think, that I wasn't 21 for, and then from that on, and we could play bar shows without any effort to try and work my way in the back door or anything like that.
Issues, yeah.
You guys have been working on some new material. You're going to be recording here coming up this weekend on some songs from new EP. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that too?
Yeah, we we've had a whole bunch of songs. I mean, they did the 4-song EP a couple years ago, and probably now total in our catalog we have like 10 songs, 11 maybe.
Well, I think with the new stuff, I mean, I think we're leaning around on like 12, 13 songs,
Yeah.
but I mean, there's still a lot of stuff unfinished. Stuff that we play out in a standard set is, anywhere between 7 and 10 songs, but, throw in some new stuff we're tossing around. We're up around 13, 14, 15 songs. Obviously, since we've kind of ramped up over the last few months here, it's kind of like letting those things come to fruition is really how it looks like.
Right. But yeah, I mean, it was nice to get in and kind of get back into the groove of playing out and playing live again. That was huge for me. But being involved in the writing process is huge. It's always something that it's definitely the most fun part, being there from square one, not just being a filler and basically
Right.
feeling like you're in a cover band when you're playing originals.
Oh, you get to put
But-
your stamp on it a little
Right,
bit.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, definitely stoked for this next weekend. Gonna lay down 3 new tracks and get those out to you guys.
Yeah, I think
As soon
having
as
Clay, especially like you said with the writing process, from where our original drummer was to where Clay's at, and his style, he's more aggressive, hits harder. It brings a new, overall style to what we're doing. Just a little more attitude, I guess. Whether it's something more up tempo or something a little heavier, it's like I said, the style overall from his element is pretty awesome.
Well, thanks, man.
We're actually holding hands at this point.
I was going to ask about that. So you guys have your previous EP. What can you tell us about that? How did that all come together? And,
those are 4 of probably the oldest songs we have as a band. Probably 4 out of the first 6 or 7 songs we wrote with the original lineup. And I think if I remember correctly, Brad wrote most of the songs, all but I think Greed Grabbed a Gun. I think, did Goot write that one?
Yeah.
I think one of our original guitar players, Ryan, wrote that one. They're relatively straightforward. They're pretty impassioned. Lyrically they're a little tongue in cheek. We tried to, not to say we're blowing away all genres, but I mean, we don't consider ourselves metal, even punk rock. We're definitely not an emo band. We kind of sway within a lot of different genres, and you can kind of hear that within it. It's definitely the oldest stuff we do, and as far as we're kind of leaning more towards a more gritty sort of rock and roll sound with our newer stuff. But I think it was a really good starting point for us, and I think the songs, for all of us cohesively, it was some of the best songwriting we had come up with, and with whatever bands we had ever been involved with. Some of the stuff's a little more aggressive. Some of the stuff's, like I said, a little more, emotive of sorts. But
Right.
it was decent stuff. I think we were all really stoked about it.
cool.
Off the air, we were saying that right now you guys don't have any shows booked right now. Looking to get some shows booked and have the calendar fill up pretty soon for the Fault Line Empires. Some memorable shows for you. I know I seen you guys at the Annex for FN Winter. That was a great show. What stands out in your mind? Where either some crazy stuff happened or where the show was just fantastic and just kind of blew you away?
Yeah, F Winter was definitely a real good turnout. I knew Jerry Fink from Falling from Fiction. Long story short, I went to Madison Media Institute. He works there, and now he's playing with Falling from Fiction, which my brother and other friends of mine are in that band, so kind of a small world. But yeah, him and Night Shift Productions, I believe, that kind of threw that whole thing together, did a great job, had a great turnout, and yeah, I mean, we played. That was one of our tighter shows we played too.
Yeah, I think
So-
we definitely played really well at the show. Unfortunately, we had some video recording from it and got to see that. And it was actually our last show we played with our original guitar player Ryan. So
You guys gave him a good send off too, if I remember right. On
Yeah.
the stage. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. And we wanted to do it properly. And we're still friends with him. And it was definitely a good parting. And we wish him all the best. And so it was awesome to play one last hurrah with him.
That was a good show. I mean, after you guys played, Transient played, and Silence is Broken. They're out of Rockford.
Yep, 2 bands that we've actually played with other places with as well, and they do very well at what they do, and it was cool to share the stage with them that night.
Got to give a shout out to Angela and Aaron over at hardrockreviews.com. They put that show together.
Absolutely.
An awesome time, Hey, if we wanted to get a hold of some Fault Line Empire music, hear you guys' stuff, or check out your webpage, MySpace, where are you guys at on the web?
Well, best place, I think, obviously, everyone goes along with the Facebook. We have the band page that you connect to through our home, the home Facebook-ness. We still got some MySpace stuff up. I don't know how many people are still in tune with that. We have web pages still in the works, but probably the main thing to go towards is definitely the band page on our Facebook.
Excellent. When you guys get some shows booked, let us know. We'll let the people know and
Absolutely.
go out and see the Fault Line Empires. It's freaking awesome, man. Got 3 tunes we're going to play. We're going to kick it off with Pretty Ugly, Fault Line Empires. Thanks for coming in, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Awesome.